evening. Steve Watson from Someday Farm. I just wanted to talk about the health of the knees in any art, any martial art, any internal martial art. I paused there. I was going to say internal art, and I thought, well, all of them. And I thought, well, not just martial arts, just the health of the knees in the course of a human life, something that, of course, we consider in the martial arts. And so in terms of practice, I always tell my students, if everybody in the class is doing something wrong, it's my mistake. If any other number of people are doing something wrong, it's your mistake, and so we're here in class, let's work on it. What I'm interested in doing initially, of course, is getting across a lesson, such as the health of the knee, the function of the knee, ways to pay attention to it, and that sort of thing. In following classes, when, of course, people have shown themselves to be human, and they've forgotten something, misunderstood something, left something out, not practiced something enough, etc., it's my job to triage that and see if I can offer the most important next step for them, rather than I see 10,000 things to correct, and how many of those would overwhelm them or be not productive at this point. So I kind of triage it, and I think, well, what's the safety thing first, and address that, and then martial functionality and Qigong fundamentals and things like that. And so what I'm interested in when seeing somebody that doesn't seem to have gotten a lesson that I've given is see, do they understand it? So I'll quiz them, for example, or I'll ask them to teach another student, or reteach me, or restate what their practice or their homework or their understanding is. And then I can usually see in how they phrase it, how they move, how they demonstrate, what their understanding is. At this point, I'm not interested in their ability to do it, I'm interested in their understanding. If I can see that somebody's understood it, then I get to encourage them and remind them of the value of patience and encourage them to continue practicing. And they see results as they see results. It varies for everybody. If I can see they haven't understood it or entirely understood it, or they understood everything I said, but now I'm remembering, another couple points here to make, I can add to their understanding. I can fill in the gaps of their understanding. I can wholesale reteach it and remind them if they just missed the lesson entirely for whatever reason. And so in terms of the knees particularly, one of the things that I'm interested in doing is placing the foot, placing the knee in relation to the foot, which is to say the rest of the leg, placing the foot, placing the knee. This would happen in Taolu or Tuishu or whatever. So I place the foot, place the knee, and then of course while the rest of the things happen, this is where we forget the knee, right? So somebody will place the foot, place the knee, and then they go to do something else, and they end up with their knee in a poor place. I'll do that in a different orientation for you. So they place the foot well, they place the knee, and then they go to do another move, and I think that we can see here that the knee has shifted, and it ought not have. Having this reference here can help somebody see, and this is something I'll do in class. I'll take the waxwood and give them a vertical alignment. A lot of times I use this. I use the door in the studio. I'll open the door, and the moving thin edge of the door, where I guess the deadbolt or the locking mechanism moves into the door jamb. I'll put my knee against that one way or another, so either from the side, the inside, the front, and let them see. So for example, here I'm in pretty good alignment, and yet if I took the same thing from the side, we'd say, oh, not very good alignment. It appeared good from here. Similarly, somebody can have pretty good alignment apparently from the camera here, and yet if we could see this from the front, which of course I just have a student walk to the side so I don't change, we can see that the knee is kicked in. And so a simple practice that I do is I'll ask them to take that a stick, a yardstick, a ruler, something, I use a Tai Chi ruler in class sometimes, anything that's rigid and long and sort of at hand. So of course that often is just like an umbrella for a student. And then go over to the couch between the box spring and the mattress, like so. Or to the, I don't know if I said couch or bed, the bed between the box spring and the mattress, or the couch between the base of the couch and the cushions, and let this stick out a little bit. And now I have a fixed point, which is not a fixed point that's plumb against the wall, where I actually have to reach my knee past my toes to feel something. So I've established that the student has an understanding of what they want, but they need help practicing it. So the practice might be feel here. If I was to go to look at how is my knee, this is a Schrodinger kind of challenge, right? In the Newtonian world, is that the experience changes when I look at it, or may change. You know, it may kick in or may kick out. So what I want to do is have a sense experience. So I start to shore up, recalibrate, or tune into my proprioception. So now I have this external reminder of where my knee is. And if I already know that my knee should not move on this next move, I can feel that it's not moving. Or I can feel perhaps that it's moving just a bit and it shouldn't, but I'm pretty good with that at my level of skill and practice and experience. Whereas a beginner student might very well do this. Now, if the problem isn't moving sort of anterior or posterior in terms of the flexion of the knee, we can certainly practice. I'll try and move this to the camera. It can be practiced this way, on a given move, where I can clearly feel I moved that, or I can clearly feel that I moved it. I don't know why you'd go that way, but just trying to play to the camera. So the same thing can be done where somebody's box spring and mattress is the wrong height for them, and so they have a few blankets or pillows. That's of course too high for me, and it could simply be a few blankets or an extra pillow. In this case we have a zafu and a regular sort of couch pillow from the house, and we can make the height. What I like about this is you can just do this in a hotel room with just a hanger, for example, and push something in that, of course, won't drape down or hurt me or be unpleasant in some way. And also, crucially, that will give. When I make a mistake, it gives, and that gives me the feedback. So I might ask a particular student to practice this with it touching the inside or the front or the outside. I suppose I could do it from the back as well. Bonus points if you call this knee pit instead of popliteal fossa, because knee pit is a whole lot more fun. And so it doesn't make a big difference, generally speaking, where it touches. So the height isn't very crucial. It can probably vary by a few inches. I don't really much mind if it's the lower part of the knee, the mid-knee, or the upper knee, which I'm faking here just by bending this. Similarly, it wouldn't really matter to me which part of the knee here. I can feel if the knee is moving or not, and to what extent and when. And then I'll give the students a practice. Here's your drill to work on this part of brush knee press. And notice, is your knee going all over or not, or getting better, and are you becoming more aware of it? Now, the way I like to practice this personally is not with a stick, not with an umbrella. They don't mean too much to me. They don't feel too great to me. But to practice it with a potted plant or an actual tree outside, or bush. And if we have a potted plant, we have this shape generally, and then this. So we have the plant spreading out. And this allows me to have my knee felt in relation to something extrinsic, as opposed to this, where I reach a wall, right? Which is, of course, I put my knee too far in order to do that. But the potted plant will tend to have a base that's closer to the center of gravity, or I guess further from you, we could say, with the tendrils, the green, the branches, the leaves reaching towards you. This means that the potted plant base might be here, but the foliage is in this area. So this allows me, at least in my view, to have a much more pleasant experience where I'm touching a tree, a branch, a leaf, a flower, and I'm practicing, and it's pleasing. I'm connecting to nature, and if it bends a little bit, I can feel it, and it's probably forgiving. And if I come away from it, I can feel that I've come away from it. So I generally teach this as a potted plant kind of practice, or a bush or a shrub or something like that. But it can certainly work with a stick or an umbrella, whatever is going to give you, stay where you put it and be forgiving if it moves.